Well, happy Wednesday. It is hump day once again. And we're on here to talk about Toyota Tacomas. I had an experience recently. I had to make a trip to the dealership to pick something up from the last deal that I had. If you're not familiar with that, you need to check out my other channel, RobMotive 2, T00, like RobMotive also. I thought it was pretty creative myself. Let me get the stream up here on my iPad so I can see what's going on, see comments, any of that. Of course, I've got ads coming up myself. It's a survey. Oh, this is a perfect survey. Check this out. Which of these vehicle brands would you consider buying from? Nissan, Hyundai, Honda, or Toyota? Perfect for me, right? They know who I am. I'm going to click Toyota and submit the survey. There we go. The live stream is now up on my iPad. I'll show you guys so you can see what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I see comments and things on, other than comments that I can catch on the screen, like from Daryl Watts. Good morning, Rob. How are you doing there, brother? I'm doing good, man. It's 75 degrees. Partly cloudy. It is a good day. Oops, got to get my little mini Tacoma in here. My little prop for the channel. Got to keep those in because I'm so happy. I finally found a Diecast Toyota Tacoma. I actually have two of them now. But anyway, as I said, I made a trip to the dealership. I think it might have been yesterday or the day before. I'm not exactly sure. Daryl Watts says, when I was younger, I used to live in Corpus Christi. A decent distance from me here, north, but I have been there, been through there. Kennedy, about the same here. That's awesome. What part of the country are you in? By the way, if you're just getting on, do me a favor, click that subscribe button. Never forget to click the subscribe button, but only once, because if you click it again, you won't be subscribed anymore. And hit that thumbs up. It just helps out the stream or whatever, So anyway, I had to go to the dealership to pick up some, let's just say, paperwork. And as soon as I got out of the Tacoma, or I didn't drive the Tacoma, I drove my new vehicle. Again, you got to check out RobMotive 2 if you don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Ray T says, always great weather here in Hawaii. Oh, please. That's like paradise, right? Kennedy says, California desert. So you have like cactuses and stuff. We have those here too. Daryl Watts, Norman, Oklahoma now. How is the weather in Norman, Oklahoma? It's probably a little cold there, isn't it? Nitto Place, Lancaster County, PA here. Awesome. I may be going through there sometime this year. I'm not sure when. So anyway, I go to the dealership, right? I pull in there, I park my car, and the sales guys are out there. It's story time, by the way. The sales guys are out there like they always are, which is cool. When you want a sales guy, you hope they're around, right? So I get out of the Tacoma, and immediately I see all these trucks, like 2 lines of brand new trucks. And I'm shocked. I haven't seen this many trucks of this variety on the dealer lot in years, I would say. Kennedy at AG, Jim Geyser, Pittsburgh. Cool, so you are neighbors with Nitto Place. ZJ on FN, should I get one? Of course you should. Daryl Watts, we are at 55 degrees now. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'd be freezing, but that's not too bad. Ken Phelan, I'm going with Phelan. Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Awesome. Probably okay weather there today, isn't it? Doze 0711, Florida 75 degrees. Same thing as here. We are a lot like Florida here in deep South Texas, although sometimes Florida is a little warmer than we are, and sometimes we're a little warmer than Florida. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So anyway, I see all these trucks, right? And I'm like, good God, man. So I told one of the salesmen I was walking in, I said, man, you guys have a lot of Tundras. There must have been, I know how many there were because I asked my sales guy when I went in, but, or he told me. But there were tons of them. I couldn't believe it. All kinds of different flavors, colors, trim levels, tons of them. And I've been hearing this a lot on the channel. Eddie Schneider, Eddie New Orleans. Awesome. You're not that far. Well, you are. Nitto Place. Can't wrap my head on paying MSRP or higher. I know. Kennedy, what I meant, AG is in an agricultural area. Okay, I admit, I didn't know what you meant. D. Yates, Cleveland, Ohio. I used to live in Columbus, 2 hours south of where you're at. Mike S. Hi, Rob. Hey, Mike. How you doing there, buddy? So, they had 75. They have, whoa, tried to put my leg up and kicked you guys. Sorry about that. That'll wake you up if you're, now I got my tripods all screwed up. Oh my God, that's the thing with lives, you see. When you don't have a production company, you're running it all. So the camera's so close, you hit it with your foot. Quentin Horn, I'm in Phoenix City, Alabama. Probably fairly warm there too, I imagine. So 75 Toyota Tundras on the lot. The most, literally, I have seen in probably 4 or 5 years, ever since the Great Sickness, right? Nitto Place, Costco Auto Program has 1,000 below MSRP. Need to confirm. That sounds worth it to me. That's a deal these days, right? Speaking of MSRP, I know what someone else had commented about hates paying over or MSRP. Remember the days when you could go to the dealership and get below MSRP? I mean, that was unheard of. If you paid MSRP, you didn't get a deal. Not anymore. If you get MSRP, it's like time to celebrate, right? But that Costco thing sounds pretty good. So 75 Toyota Tundras on the lot. I was shocked. I could not believe it when I pulled in there and saw the number that they had. Now, the Tundra's getting some bad press because there was a recall not too long ago. I can't remember exactly what it was. You guys may know, but there was a recall on the Tundra. And I think it's really hurt their sales. Not to mention the high prices, right? I mean, Tundras are expensive, just like the Tacomas are expensive, but maybe not anymore. I have heard that there are going to be some really good incentives coming out on the Tundra. Now, I have something else even more interesting about that Tundra. We're not going to spend the whole time talking about Tundras. This is a Tacoma channel, but it's just shocking to me. We got 101 people on here. Please, if you haven't, click that subscribe button. I mean, you're here. Why wouldn't you subscribe? And don't forget to give a thumbs up while you're at it. We only have 10 thumbs up. It's like 10% of the people on here actually want to be here. I don't know. So anyway, I think it's partially because of the recalls they're having. People are afraid, they're worried. And also the pricing, they're extremely expensive. But I have heard, and take this with a grain of salt because it's not confirmed, but you know, when you hear it, it's usually true. I have heard that Toyota is going to pause new Tundra production because their market is so engorged, flooded with new Tundras that they've got to slow production. Otherwise, you might go to a dealership and see 200 of them sitting there. I mean, it's not so far out of belief, right? I mean, if there's 75 there now, if they double in maybe a month or two, you see 150 Tundras sitting on a dealer lot? I don't know. That would be kind of nuts, I think. And also, you know, I'm not in a huge market down here in South Texas. Imagine what a higher volume dealer in a bigger market might have. They might have 150 Tundras rather sitting on the lot. I don't know. So it's crazy. Are they going to pause production? I wouldn't know why they wouldn't. I mean, if they've got that kind of volume out there, they can't keep plugging away, right? So what does that mean for the 2024 Tacoma? Does that mean that they're going to take those resources, if they pause production, and allocate them towards the better selling Toyota Tacoma? It would make sense to me, but there's a problem. You see, they have their manufacturing line set up, right? And I am assuming, a lot of assumptions here, I am assuming that you can't just start producing Tacomas on a Tundra assembly line, right? They're bigger, they're set up differently. But that doesn't mean you can't take the manpower and put more people on the line, kind of shift them over to Tacoma production. So that might bode well for the Tacomas, the 2024s, as far as putting new ones out. Now, couple things. You know, I went there not only to pick up my paperwork, but I also went there to see if they had any Tacomas or what the scoop was, you know. And they didn't. They actually have sold out of all the Tacomas they had, and I think they've had 5. The silver TRD Sport that I drove, the SR that was sitting in the dealer showroom, and then they had, I think, another 1 or 2 SR5s and maybe another Sport, I'm not sure, but they're all gone. No Toyota Tacomas at my dealership. Now, there's another dealership, and this, I was contacted by this dealership about something else, actually. And we started talking about the Tacomas, and they said they had a Tacoma coming, very similar to the one you see in the thumbnail, and that they would let me know when it comes in. So I said, well, whatever, okay. I mean, you know, there was no talk of money or deals or anything, but, yeah, why not? Whatever. So it's been on the website with a delivery date of March 12th. Today is what, the 6th or 7th, whatever it is, so about another week or so. I got on today and I looked, and that truck has just vanished, disappeared. Now, what this dealership typically does is they have listed on there if it's a sale pending. You know, something that's allocated coming to them, somebody else has put some money on or whatever. It never said that. The truck just disappeared. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I mean, we talked about it, said, let me know. Maybe somebody bought it before it came in and they just didn't update their website. I don't know. It wasn't an overly equipped TRD Sport. It was one of the lower end ones, I guess. Since Toyota has decided to take away things from the TRD line, we have to start talking about different levels of TRDs, right? Used to be there was a pretty well-equipped TRD line and you got pretty much everything you want. Not anymore. Not anymore. They've changed the way they do things with their TRD lineup, and you can actually get a base TRD, if you will. It's insane to me. But anyway, it's gone. It's just gone. And I'm like, what? So, you know, if you tell me you're going to get a hold of me, you need to get a hold of me. Even if it's gone, you need to let me know, right? I was kind of bummed. Not that I was going to buy it or anything, but you never know, and it would have been neat to see it, a different version of the TRD Sport other than the one that I had driven. Now, back to my dealership. See, this is a whole long story. I told you it was going to be a story, right? By the way, 123 people on here, only 21 thumbs ups. And how about a subscription? Click that subscribe button if you would. You know, I keep saying that because if you're like me, when you're on somebody's live stream and you like it, you don't even think about subscribing because you're so enthralled with the creator. I'm the creator of this live stream. But anyway, if you wouldn't mind, click that subscribe button. We're getting a lot of comments, so I got to catch up on those before we get to the remainder of my story. Do you guys like story time? Let's see. Where was I? Now I got to go back and figure out where the heck I was at. Let's see. I'm getting there. We're in Cleveland. We're in Phoenix. Costco. Here we go. Frozen Tundra. And I see why now, given the screen name, this person says this. You need a new Tundra, Rob, for the channel, LOL. Over at RobMotive 2, I had a Tundra, a black Tundra. You see, I am not a Tundra guy. So for me to get a Tundra is like channel suicide, right? This is a Tacoma channel. Plus, I like the Tacoma better. Anyway, it's why I've had, I don't know, 320 of them over my lifetime. Dose says, bartering is a dying art, unfortunately. That is not true. I think a lot of people believe that since the dealers are adding a dealership adjustment to the price, you can't barter. That's not true. That dealership adjustment is negotiable. To get rid of it completely or at least reduce it. I mean, if you're at a dealership and you got a live body there and somebody who's looking to buy a truck, are they really going to let you walk over a dealer adjustment, which is only pure profit from that for them? Now, if they've got a line out the door and everybody wants that Tacoma you're looking at, sure, they're going to say no. But nonetheless, it is negotiable. Eddie says, you tell stories like David Lee. I don't know who David Lee is, so I don't know if that's a compliment or if you're dogging me. I don't know. Who's David Lee? Automan Dan says, oh, wow, Rob, I didn't know you were on. Dan, if you have your notification bell set to on, which everybody should, you would have been notified that I'm on. Eduardo Colon. Four-wheel drive programs on the 24 Tacoma. 2 people in the YouTube world broke four-wheel drive off-roading in the new Tacoma. I only know of one. Ellery Bice, Skalhell, Idaho. Skalhell? That's a heck of a city to live in. Derek Mollitz, March Tundra deals, 1.9% APR in cash, even more on hybrids. That's what I'm talking about, right? William Miller, 2 more Tacomas broke in Milwaukee. What happened to those? You talking about the four-wheel drive system or some other problem? Dose, didn't they issue a stop sale on the Tacomas? Not that I'm aware of. I have heard a couple of rumors of that, but nothing substantiated. So at this point, I would say no. D. Yates, I'll stick with my 3rd generation for now. Let them work the bugs out. You're not alone. A lot of people are saying that. They want to stick with the 3rd gen just to make sure that the 2024 is solid, right? Kennedy, seems all I've seen is 2014 to 2024. What is the criteria for buying one? What is a better year than any other? Just search RobMotive used Tacoma, and you'll get a whole video on that. Mario Navarrete, with that many Tundras sitting on dealer lots, imagine being able to get one for less than the 2024 Tacoma. That would be awesome. Would sway me to buy one if I could. It's entirely possible. I mean, when the deal, especially if they don't start moving, when the dealer has that many trucks sitting on the lot, all the dealers, they're going to move them. They're paying taxes on those things, right? Automan Dan, well, one thing Toyota needs to do is fix the Tacoma 4x4 system. So far, 2 Tacoma's four-wheel drive system broke. Come on, Toyota, step up. Well, you got to give them time, Dan. I mean, it's just happening. I mean, I'm not going to fault them for that. They can't fix them in a crystal ball, you know. And I'm sure they will fix them. They have to. There's warranty. There's no way they're not going to fix them. Colin Arner, went to Toyota dealer near me yesterday. Online, they had 6 24s in stock, but big surprise, they actually had 0. Yeah, you got to pay attention online. Down there in the little print, you'll probably see in transit or in the build phase. Every dealer I've seen that shows any inventory that doesn't have it has that caveat down in the small print. So you got to look or call them before you make the trip, you know. Automan Dan, Rob, you might have to see about building a Tacoma unless Toyota stopped doing that. Nah, I won't build another one. I've done that. I've been there. Took me 6 months to get my manual transmission, Voodoo Blue, but I won't do it again. It's just too, it just takes too long. I don't know. Tacoma or Taco driven. Hey, Rob, I've been trying to convince myself to trade up to the new Taco, but these prices keep bringing me back down to a no for me. I looked at an SR5 and no way I'll pay $43K for that when my Taco is paid. Best truck is a paid for truck. A smart decision would be to keep what you have, right? Joel Alvarenga, do you think the X-Runner will be back? As a production vehicle, even limited quantity, Toyota can't even produce their regular trucks. No, I don't. Russell Reynolds, just looked at my 2 nearest dealerships here in Central Kentucky, have 37 and 55 Tundras respectively. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, look at the inventory they have on these trucks. It's insane. Automan Dan, Rob, I just thumbed up. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. We have 109 people and 29 people actually like it. 110 just went up a viewer. Don't forget, if you're on here and you haven't, click that subscribe button. Rocky, he's kind of laughing, smiling. I don't know. He's a happy fella. Chris, really nice RAV4. Great looking distance comfort. Great long distance comfort. They are. They're great. Daryl Watts, that's one reason that if I'm going to buy another Tacoma, I want at least maybe 2 years of getting all the bugs out before I buy a new one. You see, that's the smart way to do it. I mean, you know, if you give it a couple of years, and I am obviously not one of the smart ones, because I won't be waiting that long, but I have my reasons, right? Which I've talked about many times on the channel. Christopher, let's see, we're gonna get rid of that. Chris, just to let you know, I am not big into publicizing other channels on my channel unless we have an advertising agreement. I notice you keep mentioning this channel over and over again. I don't know why. For all I know, you're this cat's brother. I don't know. But anyway, that's why your comment was removed. I mean, you can state things without naming other channels if you want. That's just a little pet peeve of mine. Be it fair or not, I don't know. Kennedy says, gotcha, thanks. Frank Flores, hey, my brother. Is it true that Toyota is dropping the 6-cylinder motor? Except for the Tundra, I don't know. Will they drop it in the Tundra? I have heard that myself. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I mean, they dropped it in the Tacoma. They've dropped it in the RAV4. They've dropped it in other vehicles. I would say they probably are headed in that direction. M7, I got a family. Well, that's good. I'm happy. Congratulations. I assume that means you have children. Taco Driven, maybe I'll trade for a used 4th gen down the line if it makes sense. But yes, a paid truck is the best truck, for sure. Having no car payments, having no house payment, having no credit card payment, that is the American dream. Automan Dan, Frank Flores, yes, that is correct. Only turbo and hybrid 4 cylinders in the Tacoma. Yeah, but I think he's talking about Toyota in general. Like the Tundra maybe, and I don't know if they have, what do they have? The 4Runner. I don't even know. I don't know if the 4Runner still has a 6 or if it's going to be an option. You know, they're redesigning or redoing the 4Runner, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm not up on 4Runners since they don't really interest me. Maybe somebody will chime in below. Does the 4Runner, the new 4Runner, come with a 6-cylinder option or standard maybe? I don't know. Kennedy says, I subscribe and always thumbs up. You have lots of info I need. Kennedy, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Something I can't pronounce. Let's see. And there is no translation. So in the efforts of keeping the channel clean and G-rated, I don't know what you're saying. That's why your comment was removed. English, please. Frank says, thank you, sir. Well, you're welcome, Frank. Thanks for being on here, bud. Mick Drunk. Really? It's only 11:50 in the morning. Thank you, sir. Oh, I read that. Mick Drunk. They need to drop the 6 and go with an 8, LOL. Never going to happen. I mean, we can dream, right? Why not put a 12-cylinder in there? Why not put a Ferrari motor in there? It's not going to happen. You can do it yourself if you're so talented or have a good shop, but you know. JP Wright, not quite sold on the 4th gen exterior looks. Love the 3rd gen look. You know, I was like that too until I went and actually saw one in person. So much better in person. Pictures never do vehicles justice anyway, in my opinion. Have you seen one in person? Lawrence Keogh, nice truck. Thank you. This is a 2023 TRD off-road. Everybody always thinks it's the Pro because of the paint job, because the Pro was in the electric line for a while. It's not. This is a TRD off-road. Let's see. I have a question for you guys. Let me show you something. We're gonna stop from the comments for a minute because I have to ask you guys something. Take a look at the side of the truck. Trying to finagle the tripod here. Take a look at the side of the truck. You may notice, so I'm sure, something is missing. And of course, it is the decal. It said normally TRD off-road. I took it off. Is it important to you as a buyer, from a buyer's perspective, to have that decal on the truck? In other words, if you're in the market and you're going to buy a truck, is it important for you to have that decal on the truck? Would it stop you from buying a truck? You see, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should get one and put it on or not. For resale purposes, you know, for the dealership, I guess, really. Plus, there are some out there that I like, the smoke kind or tinted kind, whatever, the black ones, whatever you want to call them, in a little bit different design. So what do you guys think? Is that something that you would want, that would mean anything to you if you're looking at a truck? You have to have it, or you could care less. You know what it is, and that's all that matters. Gotta have a drink. All right, let's check out some more comments here. Let's see. Gilbert Carden is from Point Fortune, or Point Fortune, Quebec. I took 4 years of, I know that's not French. I did take 4 years of French in high school. Or no, yeah, and 2 years in college. And you know how much I remember? Not much. Je m'appelle Robert. I know that. Let's see. And welcome, Gilbert, by the way. Ellery, according to your thumbnail today, you need a bobblehead in your likeness. There's a P.O. box listed down below. My likeness is all over the web. You can send me one. Thank you. Where was I? Dante Burnett, how you liking it? How am I liking what? The Tacoma back here? I love it. I love it. Gotta put the pedal commander on it though. I've gotta say, you guys know, I've done a lot of videos on pedal commander. If you've got a 3rd gen and you don't have a pedal commander on it, you are missing out. The throttle lag is a killer. It's really the only downside of having either a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder 3rd gen Tacoma. You have to have the pedal commander on it. It's a must. Let's see. Where am I? Goosey Games. What is your favorite year for the Taco? I love them all. Colin Arner, opinion on the new Pro seats. Absurd. Absurd. I saw those things and I thought, what the hell is that? Shock absorbers on the seats? $3,000 seats? Why? I mean, if you're using the truck for competition and you're in races and you're flying across, you know, rough terrain and you need that support, but the common Joe, he doesn't need that. To me, it's insane. I don't know. It's a gimmick, I think. Tom Griffith, Rob, would it be better to sell your Tacoma outright? Absolutely. Well, let me take that back. If you sell your truck outright and your plan is to buy a new one, you're going to lose the tax advantage you get by trading it in. In other words, when you trade a truck in, it reduces the price, the cost of the new truck, and you're taxed on the difference. You lose that if you trade it off. So you kind of have to sell it for about $1,500 to $2,000-ish more than the dealership would give you on it to justify selling it outright. You may get more money, but you're going to pay more in taxes when you go in and pay cash for the next one, you know, or finance it or whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Automan Dan, Toyota is doing what Chevy, Ford, Ram Turbo 4s and Turbo 6 cylinders only for now, which is crazy because a few years ago Toyota bashed Ford, Chevy, Ram for going Turbo 4 and Turbo 6. Lawrence Keogh, no, referring to the decal. Mike S, I prefer no decal. You're like me, I always take them off. I prefer they weren't there at all. Russell Reynolds, decals are cheaply replaced. They really mean nothing to me. Stickers are just stickers. Kennedy, don't like decals. Colin, you should put on to sell, I guess you mean. But it seems to me nobody cares. I mean, nobody that's responding. I haven't had one yes yet. McDrunk, it looks nice with it off. Scott Wick, the only logo emblem on my 21SR is a 4x4 on the back. Why did you leave that on? Why'd you take everything else off and leave that on? I'm only curious. Zach says, sup scuff diesel. I don't know what that means. Ellery Bice, decal on the side? Absolutely. How did I know, Ellery, that you would be a fan of that? Zach, my dad caught my sister and I sleeping together and now he is super jealous. What can I do? You can go to a channel that's for 3-year-olds because apparently that's your mentality. Not what we're into here, so we're going to remove that. One more and I'll just block you. I mean, come on, brother. McDrunk, selling it, I'd probably restore it, but like I mentioned before, it looks damn good off. Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth. You know, I've actually had dealerships contact me after trading in trucks, wanting to know if I had the chrome emblems, the chrome bits. Never have I kept them for the most part. I mean, I have a few scattered around. If you've seen my garage, you know I have some, a graveyard of emblems, but I don't know. To me, some people must value it. And I honestly, I don't know if those people just want them because, you know, they just want to make the dealership give them something, so they demand them. I doubt if the dealership handed them the emblems to them, if they actually would ever put them on, but I don't really know. Let's see. Automan Dan, Zach, no, inappropriate comments. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know why people do that. Are they bored? Are they 10 years old? I mean, this channel is for 18 and above. So I can only assume that everyone watching is an adult. Yeah, right. But that's what we have, right? And why would an adult post something so stupid on a Tacoma channel? I mean, give me a break. Colin Arner, thank you. Paul Harris, thumbs up, everyone. Hello, Rob. Hey, Paul, how you doing there, buddy? That's right. Don't forget the thumbs up. We have 112 people on here now and only 35 thumbs ups. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Show me a little love, man. A little love. Tony's laughing. Tony can't stand it. Thiru Shorts, name a car, Chevy Chevelle. Scott Wick, that's the way the truck came when I got it. So you got a truck from somebody else like me who has removed the badging and left the 4x4. I get it. You're talking about that 4x4 badge. Makes sense. And if you're not into debadging and there's nothing wrong with that, then I get it. You probably would leave it on, right? Gilbert Carden, no decals, looks like a fix. No decals, looks like a fix. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Automan Dan, Rob, I'm with you. The clean look is the best look. That's what I think. You know, get rid of the gunk and junk on the side, particularly any dealer stickers. You know, that drives me nuts. You drive around, you see people with dealer stickers on their cars, or those license plate frames that have a dealer name and stuff on them. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that? To me, it looks tacky. And then I often think, are they paying you every month for that advertising? Or are you doing that for free? You know, I don't get it. I just don't like the look myself. Let's see. Thiru Shorts, name a plant. I need to know what your angle is. Do we have another one on here I need to remove? I don't know. Let's see. Prakhayat Pandey. I don't know what the emoji means, but welcome. Miguel Cadeno Lozano. Ever better off roading in a Hilux. Ever better off-roading in a Helix or Hilux. I don't know. I've never had one, so I couldn't tell you. A lot of people swear by them, so I don't know. Travis Tinsley, I kept my 20 taco because of you, LOL. Well, you're welcome, and I hope you have it paid off, because if you do, then I have done you a great financial favor. Let's see. Wonderful Horseshoe. Good evening from Newcastle, UK. Well, good evening. How are you? And thanks for joining from all the way across the planet, or partway across the planet. Let's see. And what's the weather like there today? I'm curious. Yeah, this guy, I don't know. Russell Reynolds, no dealer stickers unless they would like to pay me. That's the thing. I mean, it's a hell of a racket, isn't it? You know, you sell a product and then you put your name and crap on it, and everybody's supposed to leave it on there to provide you free advertising. It's great if you can get the gig, you know. Let's see, no dealer stickers. Travis Tinsley, added the 25 TRD Pro Tundra. Added the 25 TRD Pro Tundra. I'm not sure what you mean there. 24, okay, gotcha. Let's see. Hey Rob, what size tires are you running on the green Tacoma? Let me take a quick look. I can't remember. I always get this wrong, so it's sitting here. I'm going to look for you. They are, let's see. They are, oops. I I didn't think they were that. They're 265/70 R17s, 265/70s. About the only size, in my experience, you can put on stock without having any rubbing issues. Let's see. Where am I? Kennedy. Agree, Automan Dan. Travis says, I do. Automan Dan says, shorts, please stop with the weird comment. As long as he keeps them clean, I don't really care. I mean, it's comments on the live stream, and honestly, the more comments, the better. It helps the live stream. So as long as they keep it clean, I'm not going to read them, but, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter, Dan. Let's see. PK Ninja. Oil up, big man. I'm coming over now. I don't really have a clue what you're talking about. But it could be another candidate for removal, I guess. Wonderful horseshoe. Cold and damp, LOL, as always. Yeah, you guys get a lot of nasty type weather like that over there, right? By the way, have you ever heard of a gal named Dawn Farmer? Dawn Farmer in the UK. Let's see. Trippy Main 88, Vin Diesel. I like Vin Diesel. Joe Petrangelo, can I get a RobMotive license plate frame? You sure can. Go to toughskins.com, use discount code RobMotive10 for 10% off, and order one. You can certainly get one. Bell says, do you guys have Toyota Hilux in America? We do not. We do not. Closest to me is in Mexico. I have seen them here where people drive them over from Mexico. Jay, Vin Diesel, is that you? Yes, I am Vin Diesel. Let's see. Clint Perry. Love the 24 Tacoma, but went with the new Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. I'm 65 and easier to get into Frontier. Sets a little lower, quite pleased with it. Good to hear. Have you had any issues with it? Probably not, since it sounds like you just got it. And what year did you get? Brand new or what? Dose. Wow, the comedians are coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, the bigger you get, the more people you get, the more, I don't know, deranged you get. I don't know what it is. Boredom, I guess. I don't know. Kennedy says, you need an admin man to weed out the bots or nasty comment people. No, I can handle it myself. Plus, I don't give anybody else access to my channel. Artemio Ibarra. I was thinking of trading in my paid off 2016 with 50,000 miles for the 4th gen, but now I don't know. Don't you like not having those car payments unless you have enough cash to offset the difference? I don't know. As long as there's nothing wrong with your current Tacoma. I mean, if there's something wrong with it and you need to trade it, or you just want, I mean, ultimately it's your decision, but financially, you keep what you've got as long as it's not costing you or nickel and diming you. You know what I mean? Automan Dan, Bell, no. We have the Tacoma in America. The Hilux is for the rest of the world. Yeah, Toyota will never bring it here because it would be a direct competitor for the Tacoma. They're the number one mid-size truck. Wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to do that. Jay, he's laughing like a madman. Patrick says Toretto. Must be a Fast and Furious fan. I don't know. Christopher Cox II. I have a 2023. Don't plan on trading it in. The new motor just doesn't sit good with me. I just wish my 4-cylinder had the get up and go versus what it does now. Oh, you'd have to turbocharge it, man. If you turbocharged it, you'd have the get up and go. And the new truck gets up and goes. I'll tell you, it's pretty impressive. Let's see. All right, this guy, yeah, I guess I've had enough. Let's put that guy in timeout for like 30 minutes, and this other guy, we'll hit him up next time he shows up. Let's see, Christopher, don't plan on trading it. Clint Perry, new 2024 Frontier, no issues yet. That's good to hear. And I wouldn't expect. I mean, a 2024, there shouldn't be any issues. I mean, you do have warranty too, so. Russell Reynolds, would love to see Toyota put the Hilux diesel in our Tacoma. What is it with diesels? You know, I hear that a lot. People wanting or jonesing for a diesel. What is it with people wanting diesels? You know, I don't want a diesel. I don't want to buy diesel fuel. It's more expensive, at least in my area. who wants a diesel? What are you going to do with a diesel? And a lot of people will say, well, it's because of towing. You can tow more. Well, what are you towing with a Tacoma that would be heavier than what it's rated for anyway? I mean, I can just see some gigantic load on the back of a Tacoma driving down the road on a windy day or on a curve, and the Tacoma itself going like this against the weight of whatever it's pulling, right? It's just whipping the Tacoma around. You need a full-size truck if you're really looking for more capacity. You know what I mean? Automan Dan, there are so many weirdos in the comments. You're giving them attention, Dan. It's what they want, man. I mean, if you just ignore them, I will take care of them. Trust me. Russell Reynolds says, towing. There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. People say they want it for the towing. The Tacoma only weighs so much. I mean, how much are you realistically going to tow with it? I don't know. By the way, real quick, if you haven't, click that subscribe button. I keep having to remind you guys, because if you're like me, you forget when you're watching the live stream to click that subscribe button. Helps out the channel. Doesn't cost you a dime. And it shows me a little bit of love, along with giving me a thumbs up while you're in this live, right? Automan Dan says, Rob, we live on a diesel world. How so? You know, I've never owned a diesel vehicle in my life. How many of you folks out there who are on right now, we have 92, it fluctuates, 92 people on here right now. How many of you folks out there have actually had a diesel vehicle? And I'm talking about a car or truck that you drive, you know, like daily or something. You know, how many? Doss says, if I'm towing, I'd rather have a full-size truck. Exactly. I mean, if you're towing any kind of weight, why would you have a mid-sized truck that you think needs a diesel to have more towing power anyway? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The truck is just too light. You don't want to try to maneuver around a giant heavy thing on the back of it in a Toyota Tacoma. It's too small. Christopher Cox II. Are you an Astros fan? No, I'm really not a baseball fan at all, to be honest. Love the look of your truck. If you are a fan, would you put something on it for the team? I wouldn't put anything on any truck I have for any team unless they're paying me to do it. It's a business for me. This is a business. Everything that's on this truck that I can help is there to either advertise the channel. That's really what it's there for, is to advertise the channel. If somebody's paying me to put something on my truck, that's a different story. Kind of like race car drivers, right? You see a race car driver driving their car down the track, all those little names and stickers and things all over their cars. Do you think they're doing that for free? No, they're not doing that for free. It's the same idea for me, right? Let's see. But there's nothing, let me back up. There's nothing wrong with doing that if you are a fan. I mean, I'm not dogging people who put sports teams and things on their vehicles. It's just this is a business truck, not just my personal pleasure vehicle. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. Zebra Stripe says, your idler pulley squeal on that Tacoma. No, I don't have any squeaks, squeals, rattles, anything crazy on my truck. It's been very stout so far. Dose, I've had two F-250 7.3 diesels and they were the best. Weren't the fastest, but were largely trouble-free. That's all you want, right? I mean, in the end, you don't want a vehicle that you're going to have sitting in the shop every other day. You know what I mean? Automan Dan says, Rob, I've never owned a diesel. However, I have driven, excuse me, a semi-truck before. Interesting experience. I can imagine. That's like the ultimate driving in size experience, right? Did you have a van on the back of it? A trailer? Nothing. Hello, I see you from Morocco. Awesome. Thanks for being on here. I appreciate that. What's the weather like in Morocco? Nothing is throwing up some flags. I assume that's a Moroccan flag. I am horrible with such things, so I don't know. I do know the United States flag, though. Donnie Ducher, where did you get the bed bars? It is from Black Horse, the best sport bar that you can put on the truck. And if you're talking about these are connected to the whole unit. It's a whole sport bar, and these are connected. I like these because they continue the sport bar on down to the back of the truck, and it's the best look when it comes to roll bars or sport bars for the Tacoma that I've seen. So, of course, I'm biased. It's on my truck, right? And no, they did not pay me to put on. They didn't give it to me, and I'm not sponsored by them. Although I'm always open. Email address below. Let's see, Russell Reynolds. Have not owned one, but would love to have that torque, and I'm in between and have no need for full size. And would have been ideal for my travel trailer I pulled. My Tacoma struggled badly on the hills. That's a perfect point, right? Another reason why the Tacoma can be too small. You have to have enough oomph to drag whatever it is you're dragging behind you, right? Dose, RobMotive has gone international. I've been international. You can't go anywhere in the whole world and ask somebody about RobMotive and not have them know who I am. That's how big this channel is, even though the subscriber numbers may not show it. And speaking of that, they would show it if you click the subscribe button. So if you're on here and you've been watching, I assume you like it, click that subscribe button. Automan Dan says, Rob, yep, trailer and all. So fun. Ugh. Automan Dan, Rob, seeing all these trucks, I need to get one soon. I don't know what holds you back, Dan. You need to go out, mortgage everything you have, and get a truck. Brand new, $70,000, full size. That's what you need. I'm kidding. Pernell Robertson, I had a 5-speed Ram Cummins, great truck, 2-door. Had to trade it for an extended cab in 2002, but look, you can get an SR Toyota Tacoma 6-speed manual, 4-wheel drive with add-on, brings it to $39,000. Still a lot for an SR, you know. Automan Dad says, okay, Rob, if you're paying for it. No, I never mentioned paying for anything. This is on you, Dan. It's time that you man up, join the rest of the country, mortgage yourself to the point where you can hardly survive, just so you can get a brand new, full-size, fully loaded, very expensive truck. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Not a wise financial decision. One more thing I wanted to mention about the 2024 Tacoma before I call it a day. I am still looking for one. I want the Sport. I've decided on the TRD Sport. That's the way that I'm going to go. Most likely 2-wheel drive. Not necessarily opposed to a 4x4 if the right truck and money presents itself. We shall see. I believe my dealer has a underground. That's that dark gray color. I believe they have one coming in towards the end of the year, or not the end of the year, towards sometime in this month. I don't know. Chad Kradotz. Howdy, Rob. What's up? Chad, a channel member. That's why his name's in green. How you doing there, Chad? Good to see you, buddy. Dose, last comment for me, I couldn't find anything factual on the stop sale of the Tacomas. Yeah, I haven't seen anything either. I think that's a bunch of probably Ford and Nissan affiliates trying to dog the Tacoma. Rockhead says, you heard of the new Ford Ligma truck? I have not. Automan Dan, no, Rob, I'm looking at a 21 Ranger or Colorado in the near future. Come on, Dan, you're a big guy. We've had this discussion. We talked about this before. You need a full-size truck. You're a full-size guy. It'd be like you buying a size 3 shoe. I mean, come on. You might be able to fit if you cut a hole in the end of it, and it might be comfy like a glove. You said that. But you need a full-size truck. I'm just telling you. Oh, Rockhead. Oh, we have another one on here. Well, let's take care of this guy real quick. Let's put them in timeout for as long as I possibly can, and that would be for 30 minutes. We'll be done by then. Anyway, they think they're hilarious, right? Let's get on this live stream and get this guy to say this, and we can all giggle like 2-year-olds. That's what I think when I see that kind of stuff. I don't get it. One more thing I've noticed: the Tacoma SR. I sat in an SR at the dealership. I was very unimpressed. It had like nothing in it. It was very basic, and I just didn't like it. It wasn't a great truck, I don't think. So I'm not a big fan of the SR. Now, if you're looking for a truck, something that you just need the basics on, I would think that's probably a great truck to go with because it is so basic. You're going to have less tech in it and things like that. Not so bad. But I was really unimpressed by how basic it was. Automan Dan says, well, Rob, I got to head out. See you. Thanks for being on, Dan. I appreciate it. Let's see. We got another one. Even here at the end, we still have another one. Let's put this one where they should be, and that's in timeout, right? Gives me an opportunity to flex my moderator muscle, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I'll ask you one more time for your subscription. You know, we're in that time of the year where we're going to be voting for somebody. I'm not going to get political, but I'm asking for your subscription. Just like those guys ask for your vote. Anyway, I'd really appreciate it. Click that subscribe button on your way out. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thanks for being on, and we'll see you on the next live stream. At this time, probably going to be Sunday, maybe before. Have a great rest of the week, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Bye.